YouTube is Rico, man. I'm back with another video, man. Y'all see what we got going on, man. We got Keef denied meeting about London knife attacks. So you already know what time it is, man. If you're brand new to the channel or you've been watching videos on the channel but not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button now. Don't forget to tell your family and friends about our channel. Hopefully they become supporters of the channel as well. And also make sure you guys are smashing that like button and commenting on the video to help the video get recommended to a larger audience of people and hopefully bring in new supporters to the channel as well. And don't forget to turn on post notifications so you guys don't miss out on new uploads. And to be sure you don't miss out on new uploads, check out our channel every day before y'all go to bed or when y'all wake up in the morning. And also follow my IG at LMERico. Help me get to 500 followers. With all that being said, man, I'm gonna go ahead and start the screen record. That started, and we starting this video now.
Yo, what's going on, people? It's your boy Huncho back at you again with another video. And so today's video is a bit of a different one, and I want to know your guys' thoughts on this subject down in the comment section below. I'm going to be replying to a bunch of you guys because I want to get a further discussion going on this topic once this video is over. But this video actually covers an incident that went down back in 2018, and we've got to do a bit of a time jump where this article came out by The Times, which reads, "London's murder rate beats New York, a stabbing surge." Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, that's a shocker. Well, it is, but realistically, it was only a couple of months that London's rate had surpassed New York's, because if we look at the total for both cities in 2018, New York recorded around 289 homicides, which was actually an all-time low record, whilst London's was around 131. But again, the reasoning for the headline was because I believe in February and March of 2018, London had more recorded murders. But it wasn't just the British media that reported on these statistics, it was actually a lot of American ones too, and this caught the eyes of Chicago draw legend.
Yeah, man, at the end of the day, the murder rate, there ain't no reason to brag about that, man. It's just too much stuff going on and so many factors involved for these murder rates and shit that's going crazy. It's crazy, man. But at the end of the day, for the homicides to be that high, you really ain't got no excuse. It's like, y'all gotta try to do something. Y'all gotta try to figure out what's causing all of these homicides to happen. Like, figure out, pretty much get in tune, like, with what's really going on in these neighborhoods to where people feel like they gotta go and kill somebody and stuff like that. And then once y'all figure out what the problem is, y'all gotta try to figure out a resolve to pretty much stop these from increasing. Because at the end of the day, y'all already know, murder in general is gonna bring more murder. Just because it's a simple fact, it's gonna be people that's gonna retaliate, or it's people that's wrongly killed because they thought that that person was a person that they was beefing with when it wasn't. Like I said, there's so many factors and shit, and it's hard to make sense of all the homicide rates being high up anywhere in general and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, when you got people that want to come and try to help you figure out what's going on and shit, you should be taking that type of meeting. Like, at the end of the day, don't nobody want to really see violence going on, whether you in the streets or not. Some people, you know, don't really want to have to kill a person if they ain't got to. But according, like I said, with the factors and stuff that's going on in these homicides, they got to do what they got to do, because at the end of the day, you just never know what's going on. So they could be probably trying to retaliate for a family member or a friend or anybody that they're close to that got killed by somebody. So now they looking for that person that was involved in that situation, and now they want to get their revenge and stuff. Like I said, y'all got to figure out like what's going on and try to nip it in the bud before it just blows up and cause a whole spree of homicides everywhere and stuff like that. So to be honest, I don't see why he would be denied this meeting, because it's not like it's something negative or anything like that. Like, he's actually trying to bring a positive out the situation and shit like that. But other than that, let's continue on.
Keef. Now, I wasn't doing YouTube back in 2018 when this story broke, but recently it's been doing the rounds on social media and seeing.
Also, I hope this stops the narrative that Americans only care about themselves, etc., etc. I keep telling y'all, just because of the certain shit y'all be seeing on social media or whatever the case going on and stuff like that, y'all gotta stop trying to think that that person speaks for everybody, because that person don't speak for everybody. They speaking for themselves. It probably how they homies feel about the shit, but at the end of the day, you got some Americans that really do care about what's going on around the world and stuff like that. Keef, example right now of that. Pretty much at the end of the day, he was trying to come to a whole different country that ain't got shit to do with him, and try to help figure out what's going on with the homicides and stuff like that. And I know at the end of the day, just because he trying to help, it ain't gonna change nothing, because ultimately, like I said, there's a lot of factors into everything. And just because somebody that we all know has pretty much the started drill music and looked up to at a point for starting drill and shit like that, yeah, y'all gonna respect what he's saying, but at the end of the day, we can all kind of agree that either way, it probably really wouldn't change anything, just because of the simple fact we can't control other people's actions and stuff, no matter if we try to give them advice or anything of that nature and stuff. It's always gonna be people that's gonna be rebel against it and stuff like that, rebel, whatever you want to say, and still do what they do. And if like I said, somebody do something to them or they trying to retaliate, that's what they gonna do ultimately. It don't matter if they get advice from a person they look up to a lot, etc., etc. But also, I know probably people gonna probably mention, oh, he ain't doing enough for Chicago. Well, one, he can't go back to Chicago for legal reasons. Two, it's already been documented and stuff that the mayor of Chicago around the time that, like, before this new mayor that came along, didn't want anything to do with any of the drill artists. They wouldn't even let Lil Durk perform at a point. Like, they still probably don't even let him perform out there and stuff like that, because Lil Durk, Chief Keef, a lot of Chicago drill artists really haven't been able to do shows in Chicago too often, just because of the simple fact the mayor of the city and stuff like that, even the police, don't want to be involved with the events and stuff like that. They don't want to be security. They don't want to make sure shit don't go south at these events and shit when they doing their shows and stuff like that. So that's why a lot of these artists from Chicago now have to move away and go somewhere where the mayor and the police or et cetera, ain't against them and trying to keep them from doing shows and shit like that, and pretty much try to get them put away in jail or off the streets in general, just because at the end of the day, if Keef or Dirk wanted to do something out there, they gon' get denied, just because of the simple fact they looked at as the reason why the murder rate and shit been going on ever since they first came out with their music and stuff like that. So it's a lot of factors into why they can't really do shit for Chicago in general, just because of the legal shit they got going on, and then on top of that, the street beefs and stuff like that. So Chicago really ain't trying to hear shit from these artists at all. So other than that, unless you somebody that ain't got no record or whatever the case is, that's probably the only chance you gonna have as somebody trying to bring change to Chicago. Even in the communities around Chicago have also been trying to change things, but ultimately what they do, it don't do nothing, because of the simple fact it's still real street shit going on where people just got problems with other people that they can't let that beef go. So at the end of the day, like I said, the meeting should still happen, but at the end of the day, we all can agree that either way probably wouldn't change much of anything, just because of the simple fact people gonna do what they want to do. But let's continue on.
As knife crime is still a major problem in the capital, in fact the whole of the UK, I thought we'd go over that 2018 story in a video today and talk about 3 years on. Would have things turned out differently if that 2018 situation had fruitioned? So let's go over some of the article that the Metro wrote in 2018, and then I'll give you my thoughts on this one. If you do want to read the full article, I will leave it linked down in the description below. So it reads, Chief Keef is a name just as synonymous with drill music now as NWA were to gangster rap in the 90s. The Chicago-born music genre is often associated with the rise in violence in the city where Chief hails from, and now in London too. But surprisingly, the rapper is now trying to make a difference. In April, In reference to 2018, it was reported that London had overthrown New York City's murder rate for the first time in contemporary history, with multiple stabbings taking place weekly. Chief, real name Keith, felt compelled to speak out after contacting London Mayor Sadiq with an unprecedented offer of helping to tackle rising crime in the capital. Given his notoriety in drill music, it's possible that Chief could have had some type of unique influence on rappers on this side of the pond. Sharing his hopes of making a difference, Chief said, "I have an audience who listen to me. In the letter to Mayor Khan, I said I wanted to see how we could reach young people and create a more progressive message."
And that's like I said, I'm confused. Like, why would you not want to take a meeting like this? Because if you really do your research on Keef and stuff and what he's been a part of and the audience he's had around him, the years that he's been doing music and stuff, you would understand, like, oh yeah, he definitely got a reach. But like I said, at the end of the day, people gonna do what they want to do. So whether he was to really take that meeting and they really did try to do something about it, it's probably gonna be a hard way to really say, yeah, this is gonna bring a change and stuff, just because it's simple fact. Like I said, people gonna do what they want to do. But yeah, I'm kind of confused on why he wouldn't try to take this type of meeting, because at the end of the day, he's trying to bring a positive to y'all country and stuff like that. And we already know the young people is what's really the cause of this, because at the end of the day, if you look at these music videos and the artists that's out now, a lot of these guys are 16, 17 doing drill music and shit, talking about killing people and all this other type of shit. And then on top of that, got his friends that's around him that's probably around the same age and stuff. So at the end of the day, it really is the young people that's out here really the reason why these murder rates and shit is really high and stuff. Yeah, you got the old heads, but it's a lot of young ass people that's in the streets right now currently. So at the end of the day, there ain't no telling, because they got influence to do this shit. Then who's to say a person coming along and tries to bring change that they possibly won't try to listen to that person? Because this is somebody that people can agree, like, yeah, we looked up to Chief Keef at a point, and the reason why we started doing drill music and shit like that, because he's the reason why a lot of the artists are now known for drill, because of him. When he started out, he brought a lot of audience and eyes and stuff to what's going on in the streets and shit, and how they do shit and stuff like that. And yeah, pretty much so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, this is somebody you should take that meeting with, just because. But other than that, like I said, I'm confused. If y'all know why he possibly denied that, y'all let me know, like, how y'all feel about that.
But Mayor Khan declined the chance to meet with the rapper due to a busy schedule. Sharing his disappointment, Chief Keef simply said, "It's a great shame." Metro.co.uk reached out to Mayor Khan's office about Chief Keef's efforts to find a solution to London's increasing violence. They confirmed receiving a letter from him, and in a statement they said, "Every violent death on the streets of London is tragic, and my thoughts go out to the family and friends of all those who have lost their lives. I'm not an advocate for banning certain genres of music and have been clear that drill is not the only reason we have seen unacceptably high levels of violent crime. What we have seen is evidence of some drill music videos on the internet that are used to glorify violence and to incite others to commit acts of violence." And so...
Again, here we go with the blaming music. At the end of the day, without music, a lot of this shit would be going on. People living in poverty. People seeing somebody got shit that they don't got. People seeing people flex on social media with money, jewelry, even having females and stuff, living the lifestyle that pretty much everybody at one point or still now want to live, where they got the money, the jewelry, the cars, the females, etc., etc. People ultimately want to take from those people. So either way, crime would still be going on with or without music, just because it's a simple fact. People looking for ways to come up, whether it means they got to steal, kill to get it, etc., etc., the clout behind it, people gonna do that. And if he really wanted to, you could look at the times artists, because Keef is an artist that has done this. You could look at the times Keef had told a fan, like, yo, because the fan said he wanted to be like Keef, but Keef told him, like, nah, find you a different way. Do something different. Don't do the dumbass shit I was doing type shit. Like, it's other ways you could come up in life without being the person I was and shit. I did this shit because you look at where I came from. Like, it is what it is. So, at the end of the day, yeah, we got these guys glorifying that shit in music, but at the end of the day, they're not telling people, hey, since y'all like what music I'm posting, go do what I do. Go try to kill people. Go try to brag about being on somebody's block that you ain't cool with. Go try to get all these females money and shit, etc., etc. They not doing that. Because if they was, we really would see police and stuff really trying to get these guys up out of there. Drill probably wouldn't even see the light of day after a whole year, if that was the case. But at the end of the day, they can't do it because these artists are not willingly saying, y'all need to go do what we doing to be like us. Be like us. They're not doing that. So, like I said, man, it's just lame to try to blame music and shit like that for why crime and shit is going on. But other than that, let's continue on.
Oh, I guess the question is, 3 years on, if Chief Keef had met Sadiq Khan, would that have changed anything in regards to lowering the crime rate in London, more specifically knife crime and murders? Well, we'll never truly know, but personally, I do think Chief Keef, being the person that he is, a lot of people do look up to him as an influence. Maybe he could have offered some advice or spoke to others as the result of speaking to Sadiq Khan. Let's not forget in 2018, Skengdo and AM had been with Chief Keef filming their video Pitbulls, so he was definitely in tune with what was going on over here. When I posted this on my Instagram the other day, people were saying, well, Chief Keef couldn't even help his own city out, so why do you think he would be able to help a completely different country out? Well, for one, Chief Keef can't go back to Chicago due to legal reasons, and we have to remember that a lot of people here in the UK still look up to American rappers in general. I mean, even though he didn't exactly start drill music, he was the one who influenced it to start over here, and I can almost guarantee that the majority of drill rappers look up to him in terms of music. That aside though, who knows what could have came from this meeting, but I really do think it could have been a decent stepping stone progressing forward, but we'll never truly know where we would be right now. But again, like I said at the start of the video, I want to know what you guys think on this one. 3 years on, do you think if Chief Keef had that meeting with Sadiq Khan, do you think we would have progressed in a better way, or do you think it wouldn't really have changed anything at all? Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comment section below. Give the video a little like, and if you want the latest drill, street and music news out of the UK, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell.
Yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video, man. But yeah, y'all comment down below, like, why y'all feel like the mayor really didn't take the meeting and stuff like that, and why didn't he try to at least reschedule? Because all politicians are able to reschedule a meeting. Even our president is able to fucking schedule a meeting with people and find a day out his busy schedule to meet with people and stuff like that if he really wanted to. But yeah, man, that's confusing me. Because at the end of the day, if you really trying to change what's going on in your country or your city or et cetera, you're going to try to find these type of people that's really been through this type of shit before. Not necessarily knife attacks and shit like that, but still with violence in general. Like, you're going to want to take these type of meetings to see what's going on and hear the stories about why a lot of this shit is going on. Because if you don't understand the problems behind all of these violence and shit going on, then you ultimately really ain't gonna know or understand why these crimes are happening and stuff like that. Because these crimes ain't just happening because people just want to go out here, just woke up and said, yeah, I want to go kill a person just because. Like, no, there's reasons behind why this person wanted to go kill this other person type shit. Like, you got to find out why. You got to try to figure out ways to nip it in the bud and hope that people get on the same page. But at the end of the day, violence is going to exist regardless of who's trying to meet with a president or a mayor, et cetera, to get these things to stop. There's always gonna be loopholes. Even with the law and stuff, we got laws in place for violence to not happen, and what happened, it still happens. So at the end of the day, music or no music, all of this shit will be going on. But at an all-time highs, I don't know. I can't say for sure, but violence would definitely still exist regardless of music and shit like that. But yeah, man, y'all comment down below y'all thoughts and stuff like that. But that's pretty much the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're brand new. Don't forget to tell your family and friends about our channel. Hopefully they become supporters of the channel. Also, don't forget to turn on post notifications so you guys don't miss out on new uploads, and to be sure you don't miss out on new uploads, check out our channel every day before y'all go to bed or when y'all wake up in the morning. And also follow my IG at LMERico and help me get to 500 followers. And hopefully this video gets recommended to a larger audience of people, and hopefully bring in new supporters to the channel as well. But with all that being said, man, that's officially the end of this video, and I'm gonna catch y'all later on with more. Peace.